16th of March 2023. This Skidmark is one of those what the fuck moments. And contrary to all my other work, I'm not gonna hit you with a lot of clips and inserts and references, because with all the load shedding and things that I have to cope with, I'm sitting here confronted with a folder full of clips that I wanted to share that is now running close to 1,200. There's no way that I'm going to share all of that. And it's a pity, because there is interesting things there that should actually be important for you to know or to take note of. But let that be. I saw a video earlier today of a guy that was talking about the unity of Africa and talking about the United States of Africa and the possibilities and probabilities, and I listened to the arguments, well worded, but the reality is for me that the pestilence has done one thing, and that was waking up nationalism, and nationalism on community level, not national level. And don't misunderstand the use of the word nationalism. Nationalism in its basic form, where a person cares for his country and for his community and for his culture, and that is important. The draconian measures that were applied to us from the WEF, World Health Organization, globalist cabal was brutal. Livelihoods has been wiped out. Small businesses, family businesses that has been in business for generations has been wiped out without them flinching. Total destruction. And that was what triggered the nationalism. People suddenly realized that the politicians are far removed from their local realities. And I'm not going to spend time on it too much. I have spoken about it, and I will do more Skidmarks on it, but the reality is the EU is going to break apart. That is a total unviable fuck up. You must excuse me for using harsh words like that, because that is what it is. I mean, the cultural differences between the people staying in Estonia and the people staying in Sicily is enormous. They are not the same, not close. And the people living in Portugal and the people living in Hungary, they're not the same. Don't tell me they're the same. It's bullshit. There was a reason why the original countries developed over the years. And those countries were held together and united around language and culture. Now, if we look at Africa, look at the African map and look at the African borders. Those borders were drawn by Europeans sitting far away from Africa. And those borders paid no attention to the realities of ethnic groups and cultures and tribes. None of it. It was just lines being drawn on a map, and that was it. And if you look at Africa today, it is in constant turmoil from basically tribal wars. That is what it is. Basically tribal wars. The Rwanda bullsap was tribal. And if you see what is going on in the Sudan, it's tribal. You look what's going on in the Congo, it's tribal. That is the problem. tribes were forced together that would never have lived together. Never. Now in South Africa, the mere fact that we've got 11 official languages is already an indication that this one republic thing cannot work. Cannot work. That is why we've got 11 official languages. If you just look at that fact, this country needs to be cut into 11 pieces. That's the reality. And Dr. Verwoerd, he was a wise man. And he saw that. And today there's a lot of these militants on the social media blabbing their mouths off about apartheid and Verwoerd and all of that. Those things that are tweeting and posting, many of them, within 1960, they would not pass standard 1. But the fuckers has got a matric certificate today. In the 60s, they wouldn't pass standard 1. That's the reality. So we're sitting with a crowd of stupid people. Stupid. And yes, I'm crude with it. But they are stupid. You must look and listen to their arguments. They make idiotic statements like black people don't need to learn, they have got natural intelligence. Shit like that. But those are the people that want to run the country. Look at Fikile Mabula. He has achieved fuck all in his life to actually distinguish him from the crowds. But he's politically connected, and he's sitting in a position today. And you expect me to respect that guy? I'm a great believer in respect. I don't respect that. Look at what he did to the Department of Transport. But he doesn't even understand that he is stupid. That is one of the problems. Look at these ministers that Ramaphosa has now appointed. Not a single decent person will respect any one of them, because they are just not up to scratch to lead a country. Now the problem is that idiots are being appointed in positions, and they rule over me and I rule over you. Those things can't even rule over a shithouse, but they rule over us. And this is another thing of this ANC. They are not leaders, they are fucking rulers. That is what they are. And we're expected to listen to it. If you look at how the previously known homelands has been destroyed by this government, black people should be infuriated. But no, they allow this EFF crowd to dictate their conduct. And I've said it on Twitter earlier today. These rioters, destructive rioters, they are the Sasa generation. That is what they are. They grew up without fathers. Many of them basically didn't even know their own mother, because the grandmother was bringing the children up, while that breeding machine was running around creating another monthly revenue stream. That is what is going on in the country. And even Malema has spoken out about that breeding program, but nobody listens. People need to ask themselves, why the hell does this government finance that program and has no rules in that program? There is some sinister reason why they're breeding them. Why? Everybody knows there is not enough education opportunities and facilities for those people, for those children. So they will grow up to be forever unemployable. Who is going to look after them? How is that going to work? Because the money that is spent on grants is going to run out. Go and ask Greece. The money will run out. What is going to happen on that day? What is going to happen the first month that the SASSA payments cannot be made in full? As it is today, we know already there is a lot of issues around the SASSA payments. There are many people that are struggling to get their grants. So, this story of African unity is a kite that will never fly. South Africa needs to break up into at least 11 regions, 11 independent republics, and it could actually be more. And whether some of those want to be in a federal relationship with neighbors, that is their own choice. But this republic, as it is, has got no right to exist, because it's artificial conglomeration of people, groups of people, of which many are totally incompatible. And that's a realistic fact that you must take note of. So, all these guys that want the Western Cape to secede and all of that, you are living in a dream world between the ANC, the DA and the WEF. That will never happen. The only way it can happen is a secession and UDI. But if you do that, you need to know that you will have to be willing and ready to defend your borders. That is the realities. This ANC mongrels means nothing for South Africa. They cannot manage the country, they just there to plunder. South African government pension fund was in the 80s rated as one of the biggest and best managed pension funds in the world. Is there anybody here that can tell me today where does that pension fund rank? Is there anybody here that can guarantee that all the funds that needs to be in that fund are still there? Then let me get to another point. Every night the gamer is on the TV and the newspapers and so about the Brent crude oil price. What shit is that? We don't buy Brent crude. We know that oil is coming in from Russia at between $58 and $68 a barrel. That is what Russia is selling it for. We know that. Who the fuck is coining on that here in South Africa? Who? Ask yourself that and get an answer. And then another thing. Why must Eskom buy diesel from retailers? Why? Eskom is a national asset. Why doesn't Eskom import its own diesel directly from Russia and they will get a discount? Why not? Answer that one. This fuel price for us, the consumers, are based on the Brent crude price. It is bullshit. We are being robbed. But the tragedy is we are allowing them to plunder us. That is it. We are empowering them to steal the way they are stealing. That's the reality. So, on this Thursday, my message is, get this republic dismantled as soon as possible. Because the first thing that you will immediately achieve is you're going to take the total control out of the hands of Ramaphosa and his cabal. There are now so many articles indicating how compromised he is. Now just think about this. The globalists bribe and blackmail Ramaphosa, and they've got a grip over the whole country, all the assets, everything. They just need to capture one guy. Break this thing up into 10, 14, 20 independent republics, and suddenly that power is gone, because there's no way that one party will have an overwhelming majority in all 15 regions. No way. There are regions in which they will not even feature. That's the truth and that's the reality. So my Thursday evening message to you is focus and get this republic broken up. And as you can see, I'm sitting here in the darkness because that is my life. That is what I have of this republic. A republic in which I worked for 45 years to help building it. I created jobs. I paid taxes. And this is the reward I have. So, think about it. Stop allowing idiots, IQ 70 idiots, to dictate to you how you should allow them to plunder you. Please give me a like and subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.